Hello everyone, welcome back to the Anxiety Project channel. Today we're talking about health anxiety. This is going to relate to you because, as you know, now that you've descended into this belly that is health anxiety, you are no longer able to return to your previous state of being, your normal life, whatever you classify normal life to be. And this is unsettling. People think that they go crazy. People think, well, I don't know how to get out of this place, because really your frame of how you look at the world, how you perceive the world is now completely, it's shifted. There's no going back to your previous frame. Why? So let's dive into that. The reason you can't go back is because now your frame has been infiltrated by an anomaly. So there's no going back to your unconscious way, their previous way of being. Oh, I just want to go back to my happy, outgoing self. It's like there's none of that. Health anxiety is actually a blessing because life always tries and it does its best to wake you up, to open your eyes. And it has for you. And that's a blessing because now you can shift your perceptions and your goal-directed behavior to solving this problem of, well, how do I solve the problem of this health anxiety? And that's going to lead you to be the solver of all problems. And people who go through health anxiety, they're tough. They're mentally tough. Now, before we dive more into the steps that lead you down to this individuation kind of self journey, initiation to adulthood, I want to look at Pinocchio, because there's a scene in Pinocchio that greatly reflects your descent into the underworld of health anxiety. Because Pinocchio returns home after his little adventures and encountering malevolence and chaos and evil and all of these crazy things of life. And because he's a bumbling puppet, he doesn't know better. He's naive, and naive kids fall into the hands of people that take advantage of them. And so when you get taken advantage of, when you come into contact with evil, when you hurt yourself physically, what happens is it wakes you up, your eyes open, and Pinocchio returns home and his father's not there anymore. And you have to think, well, what does that psychologically mean? Like you return home and the father's not there. Well, think about it this way. Comfort is gone. Comfort is gone. Culture, the place that you inhabit that is providing you with this safety bubble, your home, your family, when somebody descends into health anxiety, what happens is comfort is gone. I'm in my home, my safe place, and I'm feeling like there's a predatory entity right beside me. What is happening? So Pinocchio goes home, his father's gone. This also resembles the fact that maybe you've reached a stage that your family, your friends, the people close to you don't know anything more about your problem than you do. And that's eye-opening. Like how do you get beyond that? Because that's disturbing, because that actually leads people into thinking that they're crazy, that I must be this unique person because nobody else seems to know what's going on with me. That's why a lot of people suffering from depression and anxiety feel alone. But that's when you turn to somebody else outside of kind of what's familiar to you, that has conquered the same problem and can give you solutions, a structure to inhabit. That's why I do this channel, by the way, to provide you with that structure. You learn from them and you grow and you become wiser, and then you implement the strategies, and then that leads you into the self-realized, independent person that you really want to be. Also in this scene, this is all packed into just one scene. That's why Carl Jung would call all of this archetypal unconscious truth. Like it just clicks, but we just can't we just don't know why. It's like, oh, it's a dream. That's what it is. It's like a dream that clicks. And Geppetto is gone, so comfort is gone. Like the authority figures, like once you once you get to a certain stage in your life, yeah, you're on your own pretty much, and you have to learn how to be an individual. But also, once your eyes open to the fact that there's evil and that there's danger and that you've encountered some sort of snake in reality, you can't unclose them. You can't unclose them. There's no returning to unconsciousness. So the safety bubble that is of your family culture, that is a place where you can be unconscious and childlike and escape and relax, and that's a place of comfort. But if you, like I said, if you remove that, that's the existential crisis. You remove that, what happens is you're no longer in a place of comfort. Now you have to adapt to what's unfamiliar. You have to adapt to the landscape of potential, the novelty of that landscape. That's troubling. And you can return to unconsciousness through medicinal means, alcohol. But what happens is it numbs that trauma that you've encountered in your life. It numbs it, but there is a twofold effect, because it numbs it, but the consequences of the alcohol or the medication is the fact that the monster grows and you experience the side effects. You become weaker, right? When the monster grows, you become weaker, but the side effects of alcohol is just going to increase your anxiety. It's going to increase your depression. It's going to increase your vulnerabilities. You have to learn how to confront the terrible thing that's plaguing you in order to rise above that. Well, first of all, to have both eyes opened means perceiving new territory as strange, as vague, and it's a confusing state. That's really interesting. That's the world of the health anxiety sufferer. But also, when your eyes are opened, you actually go to a worst place first before things actually get better. Now, what I mean by that is, well, first you have to admit that your way of functioning is insufficient. You don't have the knowledge and resources necessary to rise above this problem. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing, which is also challenging, this is why a lot of people don't change, is the incorporation and dissolution of parts of your personality. So what this means is, well, integrating parts of your shadow, the parts of your personality that you don't want to confront and acknowledge. And then not only that, but habits, behaviors, quirks that you do, changing maybe your friends and changing your drinking habits, changing your eating habits, developing a sleep and wake cycle, sacrificing video games for reading, becoming obsessed about trying to get better. That's what's necessary for change, because now it's your responsibility, because you're experiencing this anxiety, to pursue this and obsess over it in a reasonable way so that you can, solve this. Like, you have to now take this on as your cross to bear. A lot of people don't want to learn and read books about health anxiety or watch these videos of health anxiety or, meditate or, change up their routines. A lot of people just want to stay with what they knew, but you have to give that up in order to incorporate the novelty. It's your responsibility now. So now with the father gone, Pinocchio has no crutch. You can't rely on culture anymore. So now the self-actualized individual is able to emerge. And that's what makes health anxiety sufferers so damn tough, because now they have to learn that, they learn that life is suffering, and if I can master suffering, then life will actually be more worthwhile. It'll be more tolerable. The health anxiety sufferer builds a foundation that makes them feel healthy. Because a lot of people that come to me for coaching, they say, I have a foundation that I feel unhealthy as a person, and then I say, okay, what makes you feel unhealthy? And then they list off like 10 things. And so when when you tackle these 10 things gradually over time, what happens is you start to feel healthier and believe that you're healthier. That's the really big thing about health anxiety. Now, to conclude this video, number one, have a mentor, have resources to turn to in order to better understand yourself, your mental state, and how to overcome this. The second thing is you have to learn how to face your fears, and you will do this gradually over time, and this will build your tolerance. Doing things every day that make you uncomfortable is necessary to grow the part of your brain that makes you feel competent and, well, more resilient in times of extreme stress. Now, in Harry Potter, because you know me, I go back to this all the time, when Dumbledore leaves Hogwarts in the 5th book, this is exactly what happened in Pinocchio, right? The father leaves. What does the hero do? Well, Harry is left in this tyrannical state. Dolores Umbridge takes over the school. But how does Harry manage this terrible kind of turn of events? Well, the first thing is, well, not the first thing, but one of the main thing that he does is he creates Dumbledore's army. Behind the scenes, he trains with his students he trains skills, specifically the Patronus charm. And what the Patronus charm is the spell that defends off fear itself. So behind the scenes, to make the territory that you inhabit tolerable when culture is no longer a crutch, you have to confront your fears. And that requires time alone, that requires time studying, that requires time with a coach, talking through problems, fears, and then confronting them. Practical tools. You have to put in the work. This is no simple matter to do this work because it is very difficult, but that's what makes this so rewarding. Use my channel as a tool for this journey that you're on. This is your journey. You have to bear this now, but just so you know, this will make you stronger than you've ever been before, mentally and physically. It's just going to take time. And then when you get to a better state, you're going to help others, and you're going to look back on this and say, man, this whole journey was a blessing. It's meant to be. Now I can contribute and give back to the world because I went through this hell. And if I can do it, you can do it. Rise above anxiety. I'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this community. Please comment below. Also, give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because then you'll be the first to know whenever I release a new video.